The two men in my kitchen asked why my framed photo showed a building that didn't exist. 3 days before that visit, I was a senior architect at a federal contractor. My mentor, David, brought me to a restricted subterranean data center we were retrofitting. We walked into the lowest sub-basement to inspect a secure server vault. We found the heavy steel door propped open. Sitting in the center of the cleanroom floor was a standard green canvas duffel bag. It was unzipped. Inside were hundreds of pristine, identical government passports. Every single one had David's face. Each had a different name, a different nationality, and a different birth date. David went pale. He slammed the vault door shut, locked it, and told me to go wait in my car. The next morning, I was called into a windowless HR room. David was sitting at the table, wearing a brand new vice president badge. Next to him were two men in beige suits. They had no briefcases, no laptops, and no visible IDs. David refused to make eye contact. He flatly told the men I was the one who left the vault propped open, creating a critical security breach. He was burying me to save his own clearance and secure his promotion. I stood up to defend myself. The taller man in beige raised a perfectly manicured hand. He smiled gently. He said there was no need to be defensive, because they already had my signed confession. He slid a manila folder across the table. It contained a typed document detailing my gross negligence. At the bottom was my signature. It was flawless. I touched the page. The ink was still damp. I told them I was calling my lawyer. The shorter man nodded sympathetically. He reached into his coat and handed me my own cell phone. I had left it inside my locked desk drawer on an entirely different floor. I left the building and drove straight home to grab my personal backup drive. It contained the time-stamped access logs proving David opened the vault. The drive was sitting right where I left it on my desk, but the casing was wrong. It was now a solid block of molded gray plastic. It had no ports, no seams, and no way to plug it in. I opened my laptop to check my bank statements. 7 years of direct deposits from the architectural firm were gone. They were replaced by bi-weekly transfers from a shell company called Apex Landscaping. I checked my old emails to contact my former coworkers. My inbox was completely empty, except for a welcome newsletter from a gardening supply store. I logged into my university alumni portal. My master's degree in structural design had been quietly downgraded to a minor in botany. I drove to David's house to confront him. I pounded on his front door until he answered. He was wearing an expensive new watch, the kind you buy after a massive promotion. I yelled at him for destroying my career, demanding to know how he forged the logs. He just tilted his head. He looked genuinely confused. He politely asked if I was looking for the previous owner. His eyes were completely clear, completely devoid of guilt. He literally did not know who I was. I stumbled backward down his driveway. A beige sedan was idling at the curb. The driver gave me a slow, deliberate wave. Now, they are in my house. The two men from the conference room are quietly packing my engineering textbooks into a cardboard box. They move with unhurried, terrifying efficiency. The taller one hands me a new driver's license bearing a name I have never used. Then he points to the wall. He smiles warmly, asking why my framed photo showed a building that didn't exist.